What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive right into our first news. TJ Dillashaw says Ilya is running from Arman, and he isn't holding back. On the latest episode of the Jackson podcast, Dillashaw broke down why he believes Ilya has no real intention of staying at lightweight to defend his spot against Arman. He explained that although Ilya has openly talked about moving up to 170 and chasing a super fight with Islam, the whole idea just doesn't add up. According to him, the UFC wouldn't greenlight that kind of jump, especially when welterweight already has too many killers lined up and waiting. Dillashaw admitted that Ilya is incredibly talented, even calling him the most skilled fighter in the UFC right now. But skill alone doesn't erase the challenge that Arman brings. He pointed out that Arman is big, powerful, clean with his boxing, and dangerous everywhere the fight goes. He said this is exactly the kind of matchup Ilya doesn't want, which is why he believes Ilya is trying to sidestep it. During the conversation, Dillashaw joked that if he were Ilya, he'd probably be running too. He said Arman's performances speak for themselves, and even he feels like he's running from him, not even knowing the guy. The respect was clear, but so was the message. Ilya's interest in moving to 170, in Dillashaw's view, looks more like an escape route than a strategic opportunity. He added that moving up to welterweight wouldn't guarantee anything for Ilya either. Even if Ilya tried to bypass Arman by going after Islam at 170, it's a risky move and doesn't make sense. Dillashaw emphasized that the welterweight division has too many strong contenders ready to shut that plan down. Whether Ilya wins or loses at 170, the jump seems unnecessary, especially when the real fight for him is already waiting at lightweight. Dillashaw wrapped up his thoughts by saying the only fight that truly makes sense right now is Ilya versus Arman. He believes the matchup is inevitable, and no amount of talk about moving divisions can change that. Ilya might be the most skilled in the UFC, but Arman is the one guy he can't avoid forever. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to support the channel. Moving on to another news, Michael Morales is already back to sparring after his impressive win over Sean Brady at UFC 322. That victory pushed him straight into the welterweight title conversation, elevating him to the number 4 spot in the rankings. Morales looks more motivated than ever, wasting no time getting back into the gym and sharpening his tools. Just days after the fight, he returned to hard training, showing the kind of discipline that has fans and analysts talking about his future as a potential champion. In a clip he shared on social media, Morales can be seen diving right back into high-intensity sparring, moving with confidence and purpose. The quick turnaround sends a clear message that he's staying ready for whatever comes next, whether it's another top contender or a title eliminator. His momentum is building fast, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. Moving on to another news, Aljamain Sterling is once again voicing his frustration over Diego Lopes receiving another title shot, while fighters he feels are far more deserving continue to be pushed aside. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Aljamain broke down why the UFC's latest decision doesn't sit right with him. He questioned why Lopes was chosen and criticized the promotion for bypassing contenders who have put in the work and earned their chance through merit, not hype. Aljamain explained that he's simply trying to make sense of it all. He understands what the UFC is attempting to do by elevating fighters who can represent big markets like Mexico and even Brazil. But for him, the real issue is the criteria. What does it take to actually earn a title shot anymore? He pointed out that he got into the sport at 24, and now at 36, the landscape feels completely different. He remembers a time when merit mattered, when the UFC stood proudly on the idea that the best fought the best. Over the years, though, he says things have changed. Now it feels like popularity plays a bigger role than performance. If you're the most popular guy and can fight even a little, you'll be pushed toward a title shot. As long as you can win some favorable matchups or pick up a highlight reel moment that gets attention, that might be enough to earn a spot that should be reserved for someone who climbed the rankings the hard way. Aljamain argued that this approach takes away from the integrity of the sport. Fighters come in believing that if they beat the best, they'll get their moment. You eat what you kill, he said, but then questioned how anyone is supposed to kill something if the opportunity is never given. Contenders who deserve a title shot shouldn't have to depend on luck, marketability, or timing. He made it clear that this trend is becoming more frustrating, not just for him, but for many fighters who are grinding through tough matchups, only to watch others leapfrog them based on storylines, market reach, or promotional preference. To him, The system feels inconsistent, and decisions like giving Lopes another title shot only highlight how far the UFC has drifted from the merit-based model it once embraced. Moving on to another news, Diego Lopes is firing back at critics who are upset about him receiving another title shot at UFC 325 against Alex Volkanovski. Despite the heavy backlash from fans and fellow contenders, Lopes seems completely unfazed. The reaction online has been overwhelmingly negative, with many arguing that other fighters deserve the opportunity far more. Former champion Aljamain Sterling went on a heated rant about the decision. Lerone Murphy said he was heartbroken after being passed over, and Movsar Evloev admitted he wasn't surprised, but clearly wasn't happy either. Still, the matchup is locked in, and Lopes isn't letting the noise get to him at all. On Friday, he took to X and made his feelings very clear. Posting a photo of himself looking unbothered, he captioned it, "My face when I saw everyone crying. Sitting around won't give you a title fight. Get to work and stop whining on social media." Lopes kept the message short but sharp, implying that instead of complaining online, fighters should stay active, chase wins, and earn their opportunities. With the rematch now official for UFC 325 in Sydney, he's shifting his focus to Volkanovski and brushing aside anyone calling the matchup undeserved. Moving on to another news, Paddy Pimblett has delivered his first reaction to securing an interim title fight against Justin Gaethje, and he wasted no time firing shots at Arman. In a new video released by the UFC, Paddy laid out his entire roadmap for the next 2 years, talking about how he plans to capture the interim belt, dethrone Ilya, and then defend the undisputed title against Arman in 2026. He said this is the earliest he has ever fought in a calendar year, with the fight falling in January, and joked that it's going to ruin his Christmas dinner and even his birthday since it lands just weeks before. But for him, it's all worth it if it ends with him raising the real title above his head and officially becoming a world champion. Paddy confidently declared that 2026 will be the biggest year of his life. He said he's coming for the interim title first, and then he's going to turn it into the undisputed title once he beats Ilya. In typical Paddy fashion, he also threw some jabs, calling Ilya Eoria, while promising to take the belt off him. After that, he shifted his attention to Arman, referring to him as Little Posh Boy, and said that if Arman manages to fight during that time without sitting out because of a sore back and keeps his ranking, he will happily punch his head in as well. But Paddy didn't stop at the video. After the announcement of his interim title fight, he hit social media to troll Arman even further. Posting on X, he simply wrote, "You like apples?" clearly trying to stir things up and get a reaction. Paddy's confidence is sky high, and he's already building the storyline for the future, setting his sights on the interim belt, Ilya's undisputed title, and eventually a showdown with Arman. Moving on to another news, Justin Gaethje is fired up after securing exactly what he wanted. With the UFC officially announcing his interim title showdown against Paddy Pimblett at UFC 325, Gaethje wasted no time sharing his excitement. He took to social media and made it clear that he's ready to deliver another unforgettable performance, the kind fans have come to expect from him. In his post, Gaethje wrote, "What a ride it is. So thankful for the opportunity to start off this new partnership with the UFC and Paramount Plus. Perfect dance partner for another unforgettable night to prove once again I am one of the best and most exciting fighters of this era. I will be ready to go." The message reflects pure confidence and gratitude, showing how motivated he is heading into this massive matchup. Gaethje has always built his reputation on chaos, excitement, and all-action performances. And with an interim belt on the line, he's looking to remind the world exactly why he's considered one of the most electrifying fighters in the sport. Moving on to another news, Alex Volkanovski has reacted to Diego Lopes getting another title shot, and he's made it clear that he doesn't believe Lopes deserves it. After Dana White dropped a fresh batch of UFC fight announcements, the reaction from fans and fighters instantly split. One of the biggest shocks was the reveal that Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett will headline UFC 324 with an interim lightweight title on the line. That move alone stirred controversy, especially because it meant Arman was passed over yet again. But Arman wasn't the only one feeling overlooked. White also confirmed that Volkanovski will face Lopes in a rematch at UFC 325 in Sydney, handing the Mexican another title shot ahead of Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev. Volk addressed the news in his latest YouTube video, saying straight up that Murphy and Evloev are far more deserving contenders. He explained that he initially expected to fight in December and thought Lerone Murphy would be next, but the UFC held off while waiting for Gene Silva and Lopes to settle things. Volk admitted that when the UFC started hinting at Lopes again, he and his team were surprised, considering they had already fought him recently. He said there were clearly other contenders who earned the opportunity first. Still, he reminded fans that he's always been the champion who steps up. Whoever the UFC puts in front of him, he'll fight without hesitation. He shared that for a moment it didn't look like the Lopes rematch was going to happen, but then the UFC confirmed it. Volk said he believed Murphy or Evloev should have been next. Those were the guys he had publicly called out, and in his eyes, they represent the true top contenders in the division. The UFC, however, seemed set on running back the fight with Lopes. Volkanovski admitted that while he thinks Murphy and Evloev are more deserving, he also understands that Lopes brings a certain level of excitement. He said fans know exactly what kind of chaos a fight with Lopes delivers, and from an entertainment standpoint, the UFC values that. He believes that although others may have earned the shot more strictly based on merit, Lopes will still bring a wild, action-packed fight that the fans will appreciate. In the end, Volk made it clear he's ready to defend against anyone, but he stands by his view that the title shot should have gone to Murphy or Evloev. Moving on to another news, Alexander Volkanovski's coach has expressed shock that Diego Lopes landed another title shot, especially with top contenders like Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev waiting in line. Speaking to Submission Radio, Volk's coach admitted he was surprised the UFC chose to give the fight to Lopes, who Volk had already defeated back in April via unanimous decision, leaving no doubt about who the superior fighter is. He explained that initially, they thought the next title opportunity would go to either Movsar or Murphy, or perhaps the winner between Murphy and another contender. The expectation was clear. Murphy was on the rise, especially after his spectacular knockout victory. At that point, everyone, including Volk's team, believed Murphy was the fighter who had earned the next shot. However, everything changed when Lopes landed his own impressive knockout. Volk's coach said that the momentum shifted immediately. And suddenly, Lopes became the focus. Despite Volk having already beaten him decisively, the UFC opted to reward Lopes with the rematch, creating a surprising and controversial scenario in the featherweight division. The coach emphasized that while the decision shocked them, it also highlighted how quickly things can change in MMA based on a single performance. A knockout, a highlight reel finish, or timing can dramatically alter the title picture, sometimes leaving more deserving contenders waiting. Volk's coach expressed both respect for Lopes' recent performance and disbelief that he was given another immediate title shot, underscoring the unpredictable nature of the sport. Even with the controversy, Volk remains focused, and his coach is preparing him for whatever comes next, including facing Lopes again. The situation has created buzz across the UFC, with fans and fighters debating who truly deserves a shot. But Volk's team is taking it all in stride and getting ready for the rematch. Moving on to another news. Khabib Nurmagomedov has reportedly been offered an eye-popping $100 million for a one-off return fight at the White House, and the UFC is pulling out all the stops to make it happen. According to multiple Russian outlets, Saudi businessmen are willing to back the UFC financially to cover Khabib's salary if he agrees to step back into the octagon for this historic event. The number being thrown around is staggering. $100 million for a single fight, an amount no fighter in UFC history has ever come close to earning. Reports suggest that former United States President Donald Trump is fully on board with the idea, seeing Khabib as the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world, despite being retired for years. The White House setting adds a massive spectacle element, turning this potential fight into something beyond a normal UFC event. Dana White is reportedly working with a Saudi sheikh to make it happen, though it's still unclear whether his new partner, Turki Al-Sheikh, is involved in negotiations. Khabib has repeatedly turned down return fights over the years, but Dana is reportedly banking on this unprecedented offer to finally pull him out of retirement. Trump has even publicly called out Khabib, specifically expressing a desire to see him fight the new champion. Details about who this new champion is and whether the fight would be at lightweight haven't been confirmed yet. While official details remain scarce, one thing is certain: the UFC is aiming for a spectacle unlike anything ever seen before. The combination of a legendary retired fighter, a $100 million payday, and the White House backdrop makes this a potentially historic moment for the sport. Khabib's return, if it happens, wouldn't just be another fight. It would be a global event with massive attention from fans, media, and casual observers alike. The UFC is clearly willing to go all in to secure this once-in-a-lifetime showdown. And the world is watching to see if Khabib will accept the offer and step back into the cage for a fight that could redefine the landscape of mixed martial arts. That's it from MMA Pulse News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for your daily dose of MMA news.